Shostakovich. Now, I only meant to do the slow one, the one at 12. No, not 12, 15. 15, 17. Did you guys want to do 36? It's not one of my favorites to listen to, honestly. I never ask for it in audition because it's just how loud can you play, really? You know. So let's just stick with the slow one. And a lot of what I've talked about in your lessons is bow management because it's the most important tool you have, you know. I mean, I was lucky enough to work with William Primrose like 6 months before he passed away. So that was like an amazing time to have a little bit of insight from this great viola giant. And one of the things I'll never forget is he said, this is your paintbrush, these are your paints, and this is how you design art, you know, basically. And so I really took that to heart because I feel that responsible bow management skills are the first thing that go in an orchestra. You can't really hear yourself, you know. I mean, besides, also intonation falls a little bit into the cracks. But you know, when you have a conductor wanting more, you just start using more bow, and then you get irresponsible with how you're drawing your bow. So it's really important to just internalize that, come home, clean up a little bit. After double rehearsal, I always practice. My husband used to tease me, you're the only person who comes home after double rehearsal and practices. And like, because I have to undo all the damage that happened to me in this double rehearsal day. You know, so bow management, I'm going to talk about that a lot. That's why I like an up bow on that top note, because you need the thrust, and it's almost so much easier to be accurate when you go up high if you're on an up bow. So let's start on an up bow, okay? Mostly I'm interested in color, like section color, because it's so specific and it's different than any other excerpt that I know of, except maybe Mahler 10, that you have to have this specific section color, and be careful with your fingerings. My rule of thumb is I don't want to do a fingering that if the whole section did it, it would really be a disaster. So that's why I get very insistent about, you know, that there's no, and hearing any of that, it's gonna that's gonna be magnified. So it's really important to play that cleanly. All right, so let's see what we're working with here. I'm gonna give you bum, 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 bum. That was very clean coming down, like that, a lot, good. All right, let's fix the first part. So I see a lot of you starting up here, when really, sorry. I'm cold. But if you can let the F sharp, the high F sharp, save your bow enough, so it'll propel you up to that B, and I'll get a sense of dum, da, ya, and then it's still until the end. Dum, da, da. If you have all of you using the same amount of speed and motion with your bow, it's an amazing effect. So let's try not too much bow on here, and then letting that bloom, that high F sharp, okay? Dun, 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 dun. That sounded beautiful, really beautiful, and I like the color too. All of you are sort of keeping your sound a little closer to the. Actually, let's do it again because I'm still hearing some solid sounds. And the other thing, let's see, here. That's always going to be hard to land on together as a group. So we don't want to hear a shift, but we also don't want to hear dead space. So how do we do that? I would keep, as I said in a lot of your lessons, keep the bow moving. So the bow doesn't stop at the bow change. That's another thing that happens, and I've said this before, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but with the conductor, being in the driver's seat, it's like when you're in the passenger seat, you're not ready for those turns because you're not driving. And so that happens to us in an orchestra. We're not driving the orchestra group rhythm, so we stop our bow to wait for everybody else. And that's how bad habits start. That's how phrases end up being choppy, is when the bow motion stops. And it's one of the first things that happens in an orchestra. So just be aware of that. And let's make sure that when we get to that, when we all shift down to that F, that we keep the bow in motion. All right, let's see if it makes a difference. I don't know. Hopefully it will. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Sound amazing. That was really good. See what a difference it makes when you just keep that bow going? You're not really making sound, but you're keeping it going. And it also keeps you very fluid as a musician. So big rule of thumb. All right, sounds great. I don't know what else you can do as a principal, except, just have a very calm demeanor. I'm going to have you do it one more time. So, here. I would have you give a little bit more of a signal like that, just because you might not have as an astute viola section as you do right now. So just you to know how to clue it in. Anything after a rest is going to need help. Because people are either going to be behind because they're afraid to be ahead, or they're going to be ahead because they don't care and they're not listening. That happens a lot. So the more you can just really, you hold control even without moving. All right, try it one more time. Bum, 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 bum. Excellent, beautiful, sounds great. Lovely color, great timing. I would say if you can vibrate on the top, you're all playing really well in tune, so that makes me very happy. Everyone's making their shifts accurately. That's not quite in tune, but it's never, it's kind of squirrely. I'm wondering, is anyone doing that? You're doing that.
And then to 4. 4 to 3, yeah.
That's good. I like going down myself. I don't like picking up the finger. That's very good. That's a good one. but it's not quite in tune yet. So let's do it one more time. It's delicate, but the little bit of shimmer is going to make a big difference. Let's try it one more time. Last time, I promise. Last opportunity. Kurt Mazur used to say, last opportunity. And then he would lie because we'd do it again. Yeah. One, bum, 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 bum. Sorry, can you go into that with a little bit more motion? No stopping the bow. That's good. That's nice. Nice, really nice. And I like a little bit of a diminuendo at the end, which you all did musically. So, good. Good. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for classical music performances and educational videos each week. You can check out another video by clicking the thumbnail on the screen. To watch full concerts, visit media.nws.edu.